The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was for years known for pretty much one thing: oil. Lots and lots of oil and lots of money. Apart from this, it was seen by many as an overly conservative and rigid nation, a place where modernity seemed out of reach, evidenced by the fact that it was the only country in the world where women couldn't drive. But now, the kingdom is undergoing a remarkable transformation. You've probably inadvertently noticed the country popping up more through hosting high-profile sports events, glitzy concerts, and signing football stars from Europe with literally billions of dollars worth of investments. But what's driving this dramatic change? Today, we'll delve into Vision 2030, the ambitious plan led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to completely reshape Saudi society and diversify its economy beyond oil. This isn't just about flashy events, it's a deep strategic effort to modernize the nation and secure its future. So, what's the real story behind this change? Is Vision 2030 a genuine leap forward or just a grand illusion? Let's find out.
أنا أعتقد أن أوروبا الجديدة هي الشرق الأوسط.
So to start, Vision 2030 is the pet project of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. When launching the project in 2016, he said, "Our vision is a strong, thriving and stable Saudi Arabia with Islam as its constitution and moderation as its method." He emphasized that moderation, tolerance, excellence, discipline, equity and transparency are key to Saudi success, with moderation being the key word there. So this begs the question, why did MBS feel the need for this moderation? We'll get to the economic reasons in a bit, but it seems that MBS wants the conservative nation to catch up to the modern world. After the Arab Spring, which were the people-led revolutions against Middle Eastern dictators throughout 2011, MBS may have thought that if he didn't make Saudi society more open, the people might grow resentful of the royal family, leading to eventual revolutions. In addition, youth unemployment is a major problem in Saudi Arabia, generally being far above the national average. Resentful youths with limited opportunities are generally the ones who start rebellions. So Vision 2030 was launched to secure Saudi Arabia's status as the heart of the Arab and Islamic world and to become a global investment powerhouse. The plan also aims to turn Saudi Arabia's strategic location into a global hub connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa. This would not only boost the Saudi economy, but also give the Saudi people more social freedoms and opportunities. So let's explore this in a bit more detail. MBS outlined 3 strategic pillars: a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. These goals are being pursued through 11 vision realization programs. Each program sets specific targets to be achieved by 2030 through 3 5-year national transformation programs. The first pillar focuses on social reform. It aims to increase household spending on cultural and entertainment activities from 2.9% to 6% and to improve Saudi Arabia's ranking from 26th to 10th in the world's social capital index. The second pillar aims to diversify the economy away from oil. It targets reducing unemployment from 11.6% to 7%, increasing the share of non-oil exports in non-oil GDP from 16% to 50%, raising the private sector's contribution from 40% to 65% of GDP, and boosting foreign direct investment from 3.8% to 5.7% of GDP. And the third pillar focuses on improving government efficiency and national competitiveness. It seeks to raise Saudi Arabia's ranking in the Government Effectiveness Index from 80 to 20, and in the e-Government Survey Index from 36 to the top 5. These reforms have touched almost every aspect of life and private life, including sports, tourism, entertainment, and arts. In short, it's safe to say that Vision 2030 is not just for show. It's a systematic plan with multiple deliverables. Some of those we'll go into more detail now. So let's begin with the social reforms. Now, Saudi Arabia has traditionally been an extremely conservative society, rooted in a conservative interpretation of Islamic law and traditional customs. Now, this may be surprising to Westerners, but they actually have an official religious police who monitor public locations. They have been known for patrolling public spaces to enforce dress codes, ensuring that women wear the abaya, and that men and women do not interact unless they are related. They also monitored prayer attendance, ensuring that shops and businesses close during prayer times, and enforcing bans on music, alcohol, and public displays of affection, and even had the power to arrest individuals they viewed as acting immorally. In addition, Saudi Arabia had long been infamous for its stringent restrictions on women. Women faced severe limitations in nearly every aspect of public and private life. They were required to dress modestly, avoid interactions with unrelated men, and adhere to strict guardianship laws that dictated their ability to travel, marry, work, receive loans, or even get medical treatment without a male guardian's approval. Public spaces were heavily gender segregated, and women were barred from participating in many activities that were commonplace elsewhere. And infamously, women couldn't drive or attend sporting events. In essence, women's legal standing was akin to that of minors. But under MBS's Vision 2030, the kingdom has embarked on a journey of transformation. Social reforms have aimed to empower all members of society, especially women, as part of a broader effort to modernize Saudi Arabia. The powers of the religious police have been greatly reduced, with their power to arrest being removed. One of the most notable changes also came in 2018 when women were finally allowed to drive, ending a ban that had long been a symbol of their restricted freedoms. This landmark decision was followed by other significant reforms, such as the right to travel without a male guardian's permission, greater employment opportunities, and the ability to attend public events like concerts and sports matches. Vision 2030 sees Saudi women as a significant asset, and their increasing rights reflect this perspective, paving the way for a more modern and inclusive society. As of 2022, women's participation in the workforce has risen to 37%, a significant increase from about 20% in 2015. In other social areas, music can now be played at restaurants, and cinemas have reopened after a 35-year ban, creating a much more open and relaxed public environment. Vision 2030 is reshaping Saudi Arabia on a very deep level, bringing prosperity and new opportunities. It has driven societal reforms that promote inclusion. The country has taken several social reforms under the umbrella of Vision 2030. And this is also one of the major themes of the reforms: the dynamic society. Now, there is probably one core reason why Saudi Arabia is sprinting to make such drastic changes, and that is their oil is running out. Saudi Arabia has been nearly totally dependent on oil export earnings since 1938, when oil was discovered in Daman. And this explains these social reforms, the attention on international investment, and the easing of restrictions for women. Because in short, while previously the country could rely on its oil to avoid change, becoming independent of this resource requires participation from all members of society. Saudi Arabia presently controls 17% of the world's proven petroleum reserves. It is categorized as an oil-dependent economy because, as of 2022, oil accounts for 80% of its export income and more than 40% of its GDP, making it the world's third most oil-reliant country, following only Kuwait and Libya. In the contemporary bigger picture, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the subsequent Western sanctions on Russian oil, have increased worldwide demand for oil, leading oil prices to rise. However, this won't remain the case indefinitely. Oil is no longer a realistic option for Saudi Arabia's future. Saudi oil reserves are expected to be drained in 60 years if extraction rates continue at current levels. Oil revenues are also predicted to fall dramatically by 2040 due to decreased global demand, driven by the global shift towards sustainable technology and cleaner energy sources. In view of that, MBS is attempting to lead the kingdom towards the future and from what he calls a case of oil addiction. So it's time to slowly wean off the oil exports. This is why one component of Vision 2030 is the National Transformation Plan, or NTP, which was undertaken from 2016 to 2020 to increase non-oil revenue to $141 billion. The kingdom aims to increase its share of non-oil exports in non-oil GDP from 18.7% to 15%. Furthermore, it wants to increase the contribution of small and medium-sized enterprises of GDP from 20% to 35%. One of the major goals of the project is to reduce the unemployment rate from 12.3% to 7%, providing more opportunity for its youth. And surprisingly, the unemployment rate in the fourth quarter of 2023 was already 7.7%. Also, Saudi Arabia looks to improve its economic position and become one of the top 15 largest economies in the world. Currently, it stands at the 19th position, but for this to happen, they need to become independent of oil and create an economic system that is sustainable for the future. With this in mind, Vision 2030 has also made substantial headway in increasing non-oil economic activity. For example, non-oil commerce between China and the rest of the globe grows each fiscal year. A young, educated population is driving the growth of the private sector, and small and medium-sized businesses have experienced tremendous growth throughout the years. In addition to this, Saudi Arabia aims to become a worldwide tourism hub. The kingdom aims to attract 100 million tourists per year by 2030, with a $1 trillion investment in the tourism sector under the National Tourism Strategy. Overall public entertainment grows throughout the kingdom. The country has experienced a massive growth in entertainment and sports events, transforming its cultural landscape, while hosting high-profile events such as the MDL Beast Music Festival, WWE matches, Formula E races, championship boxing matches, and international football tournaments. International headlines were made when football star Cristiano Ronaldo signed with Saudi club Al Nassr for a whopping $400 million contract, which started a trend for other high-level football stars to join what was previously viewed as a subpar league. These developments not only attract global attention and tourists, but also provide new avenues for social interaction and economic opportunities for Saudis, making a significant shift towards a more open and vibrant society. Now, no doubt, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is an ambitious plan to diversify the economy and modernize society, but it does face several significant challenges and criticisms. Economically, the country still remains heavily dependent on oil revenues, and fluctuations in oil prices can impact funding for various projects. Attracting foreign investment is crucial, yet political instability, regional conflicts, and human rights concerns can deter investors. Additionally, the transformation of a heavily oil-dependent economy requires substantial administrative changes, and bureaucratic inefficiencies could slow progress. Socially and culturally, there is resistance from conservative factions who oppose rapid changes such as increased women's rights and entertainment options. Balancing modernization with traditional values is challenging, and some segments of society may feel alienated by the rapid pace of reforms. Human rights concerns persist, with critics pointing to crackdowns on dissent and poor treatment of migrant workers. Environmental sustainability is another issue, as large-scale development projects could lead to habitat destruction and pollution. Furthermore, the country still faces youth unemployment and income inequality, which can be exacerbated by rapid economic changes. Political and geopolitical risks, including regional instability and global perceptions of Saudi Arabia, also pose significant threats to the successful implementation of 2030. And there is also a darker side to Vision 2030. Now, while we can all see the developments being made, the price for such a change is high for many people. For example, earlier this year, it was reported that the Saudi government had actually given its forces orders to kill anybody who resisted to leave their village and ancestral land. The Saudi government cleared and bulldozed entire villages to make room for its plans, regardless of whether the people wanted to go or not. What you can see here are images from a village named Sharma, 6 years apart. In 2018, it was a bustling town. Now, there's nothing there. That's the price of progress. And while all of this is happening in the name of futuristic mega projects like Neon City, they are also widely criticized for being unsustainable utopias dreamed up by the wealthy elite. For the meantime, the wheels of Vision 2030 continue to spin. And while there is criticism, there are many rational motives behind the plan as well. And addressing these multifaceted challenges will be crucial for the plan's success and the future stability of the kingdom. So, in conclusion, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 aims to guide Saudi Arabia towards a future of prosperity, modernization, and global influence. Halfway through its implementation, the vision has already achieved remarkable success, transforming the Saudi economy, society, and its international standing. The signs of progress are everywhere, from robust economic growth to greater social empowerment, and the kingdom's active participation in global affairs speaks volumes about its newfound confidence on the world stage. Perhaps most importantly, despite the challenges, Vision 2030 is a testament to the dreams of Saudi Arabia's youth and women who are now witnessing the tangible benefits of this ambitious plan. Thanks for watching. Till next time.